kindergarten. Here's our next story called Grumpy Badger's Christmas. And look at how grumpy he looks. Now, if you remember, like the stories we've read, Bear snores on, Bear says thank you. This is one of the same kind of stories. And it's written by Paul Bright, and the pictures were done by Jane Chapman. Instead of Bear this time, though, it's Badger. Badger's grumpy today. Let's find out. I bet. Have you ever been grumpy before? I think we all been grumpy. Even Mrs. Lawaji's been grumpy. Don't tell anyone. Grumpy Badger's Christmas. It was almost Christmas, and the forest was a flurry of activity. The animals were bustling and here and there and putting up the Christmas tree, wrapping presents, making tasty cakes and cookies, while the young ones scampered about, squeaking with excitement. Everyone was looking forward to Christmas. Well, almost everyone. I'm betting you guys are guessing who's not really happy about Christmas. Grumpy Badger looked out of his window and scolded. "Merry Christmas," shouted Squirrel. "Merry Christmas." "Bah," he shouted back. "What a fiffle. I'm a sensible creature, and I sleep all through the cold winter. Oh, now I'm going to bed until the spring, and if anyone wakes me up, I'm going to be very, very grumpy." And with that, he pulled his window shut with a clunk. Oops. Oh, no. So Grumpy Badger, he knew he would be so hungry when he woke, so he checked his pantry, and there were pies and pastries and hams and cheeses, crispy crackers, jars of fruit, and sticky sweet jams. That should do, he said. Then he filled his hot, warm water bottle and climbed into bed. He had just closed his eyes when there was a little knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock. It was Mole. "Merry Christmas, Mr. Badger," he said timidly. "I'm sorry to bother you. I've been trying to put on the lights on the Christmas tree, but it's just too big. Could I please borrow your ladder?" "Christmas tree," spluttered Grumpy Badger. "Fitful and double fitful. Christmas is for sleeping, and that's what I'm trying to do." And he closed the door with a big bang. Uh-oh, poor Mole. "Well, bah!" huffed Grumpy Badger, climbing into bed. "Borrow my ladder, indeed. All I want is a lot of peace and quiet, so leave me alone." He peeked under his bed, where he put more food for springtime, candies and cornbread and cherry cupcakes. Then he cuddled deep into his big, warm comforter. He was just starting to snore when there was another knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock. This time it was Squirrel. "Hello, Badger," he said in a cheerful voice. "I brought you a Christmas present." "Christmas present," snorted Grumpy Badger. "Fiffle and triple fiffle. I don't like presents and I don't like Christmas. All I want is a little peace." And he shut the door with a crash. Now Grumpy Badger was really grumpy. To cheer himself up, he thought about the bottles and bottles of homemade lemonade he had in the cellar. Then he lay down and closed his eyes, but he couldn't sleep. His head felt a little chilly. Suddenly, there was a loud banging at the door. Bang! 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 "Oh, what is it now?" Grumpy Badger sighed. He was about as tired and grumpy as a badger can be. "Oh, Badger," panted Rabbit. "Help! It's poor Mole. He's stuck at the top of the Christmas tree. Come quickly." "Fiffle!" shouted Grumpy Badger, "and triple fiffle on top of that. Why can't everyone just leave me alone?" And he slammed the door so hard that this time the whole house shook. Slam! Oh, at long last, Grumpy Badger fell asleep, but soon he was tossing and turning and wriggling and squirming. He was dreaming of Mole dangling by the one tiny paw from the top of an enormous Christmas tree. Mole was trembling. Mole was about to fall. Oh, no, so he's worried about Mole. So make a prediction. What do you think Badger's going to do? "No!" screamed Grumpy Badger, sitting bolted right upward and suddenly wide awake. "What have I done?" He jumped out of bed, grabbed his ladder, and dashed into the street. Grumpy Badger raced up to the Christmas tree. "Hold on, Mole," he cried. He scrambled up the ladder, scooped Mole gently into his arms, and then helped him down to the ground. I'm so sorry I left you hanging, mumbled Grumpy Badger. I suppose I've been a bit of a grump. That's okay, said Squirrel, and he grabbed Badger back his and he gave Badger back his Christmas present, a soft, fluffy nightcap. Oh, good thing, because remember, he had a cold head. I've been so grouchy, said Grumpy Badger. What can I do to make things better? And then he knew. So remember, what do you think he's going to do? Badger's Christmas party was the best ever. There were pies and pastries, cheeses and hams, and sticky sweet jams and cookies and cupcakes and bottles of homemade lemonade. They jigged and they jibed and they joked and they laughed late into the night. Merry Christmas, everybody, Badger cried. And if you don't all come to my party next year, I shall be very grumpy indeed. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, and make sure you listen. And if you have any questions about it, you can ask me tomorrow about the story. All right, so we'll talk to you soon. Take care. I miss you guys. Bye.